how not to be nervous, Robbie, when you're in front of the cameras.
You're not. I can tell you're not nervous.
Robbie doesn't know me that well. You went from managing reggae artists on community radio to running one of the biggest YouTube platforms. When did you realise your channel was shaping culture?
Wow, that's a good one. You know what? Like, I'd say going back even deeper than before that. Like, I used to be involved, like, really a lot in sound systems.
Yeah.
So my brother had a sound system back in the day, and I learnt a lot from that. I learnt a lot from, I used to keep events.
Yeah.
So, and it was a bit wild west in those days, but it taught me a lot. It taught me how to, how to deal with people. Taught me how to put on events. Taught me how to have no fear as well when I'm doing things. Right, to give it a go, try it. If it fails, it fails. Yeah. We go again. So I think all of those things. From dating back from those times when I was really heavily involved in the reggae industry, it's taught me so much. I really look at that and feel that gave me a lot of, especially I always look at fear. I say to people, I go, fear is the thing that stops us from doing a lot of things, because we'll have these great ideas sometimes, but we're scared. And sometimes that fear is from other people. Yeah. Oh, they ain't gonna work. Boy, have you done this? You know what I mean? And sometimes you ain't gonna know until you try it, but you're a bit fearful that suppose I fail, everyone's gonna be laughing at me, people's gonna say I'm an idiot. But, whereas really and truly, you ain't gonna know until you give it a go. And if you give it a go and it doesn't quite work out, you then take the learnings off of that and then realise that you can go again and make it better. So if you can eliminate that fear, and I think from those days when I used to keep events, and sometimes I'd keep like some big events, and people say, Robbie, you're mad. What if that don't work out? And I'd still go for it. And I've just had that in me from day one. That's why I set up my platform. Like when I set up AFTV, everybody was telling me that ain't going to work. But I was just like, I just locked out the noise and said, I'm going to give it a go. Yeah. And, there's a lot of trial and error in it because there was no blueprint to it. It's never really been done before. But I was just like, I was determined. I stayed consistent with it. Of course. And 12 years now I've been doing it over, and we're still going strong.
Love to hear that. Fear nearly got in the way of this podcast as well.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it? Why? What was your fear?
I'm scared about being on camera. I'm scared about being on this side. It's okay to be on the
You're
other
a lot
side.
better looking than me, man. So you're going to do well.
You look younger
camera.
than I do. Come on.
But listen, no, but I understand it though, because there's so many. I just feel that kills a lot of dreams.
It does.
Man, fear.
It does.
Because you can do it. You know how to set it up and everything. And then once you've done these sort of things, once you've done it a couple of times, the fear's gone, innit?
Yeah. True.
So it's a bit like driving, isn't it? When you first go and learn to drive, you're petrified because you've never driven before.
Still am. Yep.
When you put your foot on the clutch and you say, how the hell does this work, man?
Yeah.
How are you going to be able to drive and put your foot on the clutch and put the foot on the accelerator at the same time? But once you started to have a few lessons in that, and you start to get used to it and that, you start to think, it's not as bad as I thought. And it was a fear.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Once we can kind of overcome that, we can do most things, Yeah.
Wise words from Robbie. For real. We're going to soundbite that one. You've transformed fan culture into global media. When did you realise this was more than just a YouTube channel?
Oh, there was one weekend when it was the first game of the season. Can't remember the year now, but it was a long time ago now, at Arsenal. And we'd spent the whole summer and we hadn't really bought any players. Yeah. And we went into the first game of the season. We played Aston Villa and we lost. And fans were crashing out. Like they were so upset, right? And obviously we captured that because we were interviewing fans. Yeah. And the next day I woke up, like the amount of emails I had, messages on my phone, every newspaper wanted to use our videos. Yeah. That's when I realised, like, hey, this is, videos were doing over 1 million. several videos, you know what I mean? Like every, 4 or 5 viral videos in one weekend. I was like, no, this is insane. That's when I realized that this can be serious. This can be really, really good. So I think that was I mean, I've had a lot of sort of turning point moments, but I think that was the first big one. Yeah. Where I was like, ooh, this is going to be. Yeah. Even though we'd had a lot of really big videos before then, and we were growing really well. Yeah. But that weekend's what made me realize that we're onto something here.
AFTV began with a handheld camera. How would you do it differently in a world with TikTok and AI?
A lot of things in there, right? But it still boils down to the same fundamentals, right? Is like you have to come with something original. And listen, like football's not original because everyone's talking about football, but we just did it in a different way. So if I was relaunching it now, wouldn't have to borrow a camera. I could probably use my phone, right? The camera would be good enough on that. Probably be able to get one of these little mics now that you can get. All that technology.
What was you using before?
We borrowed. So my partner who I started it with, he was working at a film studio that did like adverts. It was like a very low budget film studio. And he goes to me, "Oh, Robbie," he goes, "I reckon I could borrow a camera and a microphone from there." The camera that we borrowed, when he bought it, I was like, "Hey, that looks all right, man." Right? It looked really impressive, but it was actually one of those cameras that run on tapes. It wasn't digital. Okay. Yeah. So that meant that everything you filmed, right, you then had to wait for that to process like that.
I know the ones.
Right. So it used to take ages, man. Like, I was still working full time, right? Yeah. I'd fall asleep. I mean, he'd when we finished, right, filming everything, we'd drive back. Me and him sometimes, we'd be falling asleep, man. I had to get up and go, "Listen, man, I got to go, man. My girl's going to cuss me." Like, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, but so now the quality of equipment that you have at such a cheap price, I think, I'll be able to set it up quicker. Yeah. But the fundamentals will still be the same. You've got to come with some things a little bit different. You've got to be original. You've got to be consistent. It's the same thing. You might have AI, you might have this, you might have that, but you're still going to have to come with those same fundamentals. So I think actually it'd be easier now. Yeah. It'd be easier to set up. You'd face more competition now. Because when I first started doing AFTV, nobody was doing it. Exactly. But then on the flip side, when nobody's doing it, it's harder in a way because you don't know whether people are going to accept it or not. You don't know whether it's going to take off. So on the one, it'd be easier to set up now. Yeah. It'd be more acceptable because so many more people are doing content. You're not going to get the grief that we got off of the really big established media companies that really set about trying to put us down at every angle. So you wouldn't get that. But the fundamentals will be the same. And you've got to be consistent in this thing. And you've got to be, and you can't, I can't put a video out or, first 6 to 12 months and be crying about, I only got 50 views or 100. I mean, you got to work on it. You got to build it, you know? And once you start building it, you can be onto a winner.
Agreed. If you could go back and sit down with the version of yourself from 2012, what would you warn them about fame?
Well, listen, I'd warn myself about the pitfalls of fame, which is, what I've found over the years is that you're a target for, if things go wrong, you're the target. They're coming for you. You're going to get a lot of grief. You're going to get a lot of stress. So I'd just be warning myself about that, being able to stay calm, and that's one thing that I've learned over the years, to stay calm in the face of a storm sometimes, because you can have these little things just blow up. And sometimes they're not as big as you think. At the time, it looks big. Yeah. I've had loads of them. Where at the time, you're thinking, oh my God. You know what I mean? Everyone's sending you, Robbie, have you seen this clip? What they're saying about you? And it seems like it seems like the end of the world, but actually it's not. Yeah. And actually, you know what? Pause, take some deep breaths, relax, let it play out sometimes, before you even decide how you're going to approach this and how you're going to deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
So I just be telling myself to expect these things, number one. Don't expect that, you know, you're always going to be the flavor of the month. Not everybody's going to love you. You know what I mean? There's going to be haters. And if you kind of know what's coming, you know how to deal with it a bit better. But when I was first coming up, I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
So sometimes when it came, I was like, oh my God. And I'd be like, what have I done? What are they on my case like this? What?
Yeah.
But after a while, you learn that, it's kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So I'll be telling myself that. I'll be warning myself, this is coming. And you can't avoid it. You know, it's coming. It's definitely coming. I tell that to a lot of people now that are coming to say, yo, just when those situations come, don't panic. You haven't got to reply to everything. You haven't got to answer everything, you know, because
exactly.
Nowadays, that's the thing. Everybody's like, you know, it'd be like, well, Robbie, what's your response? You know, this person said that, what's your response? I'm like, listen, I'm not a battle rapper, bro. I haven't got to respond to everything, man. I'm not Kendrick Lamar with these Kanye West, you know what I mean? I ain't got to reply to everything. You know what I mean? If I reply to what I feel like I have to reply to, or if something warrants a response. So that's how I'd approach it.
On that note, would you do a battle rap? Is that something we can?
I've done a battle rap. I've done, I remember I did a battle rap with this Tottenham fan.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so we did a battle rap. You know, I used to do a bit of it back in the day. And I think I surprised him, man. He was shocked. He was actually a very good battle rapper, but we did it just for a laugh. So I've done it, yeah.
Oh, sick.
I could come up with some lyrics, man.
That's actually one of the last questions. What's more nerve-wracking, interviewing Ian Wright or uploading the first video?
Uploading the first video. I mean, interviewing Ian Wright, I was very nerve-wracked because, you know, you're a bit starstruck. When I first met him, this is one of my heroes playing football, but then he relaxed me straight away because he just came over and goes, Robbie, mate, I love your content, love what you do, blah, blah. So I was just like, okay. And he was just such a down-to-earth guy, so he was cool. I think the most nervous I've been is when I met Thierry Henry.
Oh, yeah?
Because he's my absolute hero.
Yeah.
And when I met him, right, I was like, shit, what am I going to ask him, man? Should I ask a question like this and that? And then when I met him, he'd already seen our content. He already knew me. And I mean, like, I was gobsmacked, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like, because I was proper starstruck because I was like, I don't get starstruck with most people, but with him I was like, yeah, this is my absolute hero. But now I'm a lot calmer when I meet a lot of these big stars, you know what I mean, or big football stars or big stars in general.
Yeah. Well, when was the last time you were starstruck? Was it Thierry or has it been someone since?
I think Thierry, man, like, because he's just my footballing hero. Yeah. You know, I meet a lot of other people. Like, I don't know. I feel I'm pretty calm when I meet them. You know what I mean? You know, but he was my absolute hero, and I met a lot of. You know, I've been fortunate to meet a lot of like probably bigger stars than him. But for me, he was
legendary,
numero uno for me.
Yeah, and you must have met him a bunch of times.
Yeah, I've met him a few times. I even there was one time. I met him at this event that Sky did. It was like a Sky Sports Day. Oh, yeah? And they do these sort of events at the start of the season. And what they do is they get, on that particular event, they had like a load of sort of influencers and then they had a load of like, you know, football stars and sports stars. And then they paired you up with them. Yeah. And then you went round and done all these, it was a sports day. Yeah. And they paired me with Thierry Henry. Oh, so I literally spent the whole day with him. And we were just chatting football, we were chatting life. Honestly, it was one of the best experiences ever. And we were just going around, and I beat him in a crossbar challenge as well, which is.
Is that documented?
It's documented. It's on video as well. Yeah, that's the thing, because every time I tell people, they always tell me I'm lying, right? And then I get the video out and say, "Yo, watch this," right? And I beat him, right? And I can tell you as well, right? He's a competitor because when I beat him, he didn't go down well with him. He was trying to beat me. He was trying to actually bury me in every other event after that. But that's where you see the competitive nature of the guy, and you know, both him, Ian Wright, these guys are such good guys, you know what I mean? And have given me good advice over the years as well.
What's an AFTV moment you wish you didn't capture?
There's a lot, man. And I'm not going to give you which ones, but there's a few. Listen, I think over the years, listen, we've made mistakes over the years as well. I always say it to people, but I'm gonna openly admit it. Like, there's been some videos that I look back now and think, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But we did it. So it's out there. You just got to, I don't think there's any business in this world, no matter how successful they are, that haven't made mistakes along the way. It's just how you learn from those mistakes. And sometimes those are part of your growing, it's part of you growing up, isn't it? It's part of your growing experience. And I think for us as well, is that we didn't have a blueprint.
Yeah.
We were a disruptor in the business, and a lot of things we're doing it for the first time.
Yeah.
So it's a bit trial and error. We don't know how it's gonna go down, how it's gonna work out. And then, some things worked out absolutely brilliantly. Some other things were a bit, But yeah, there's probably a few things that I'd look at and think I'd do it a lot differently now. But
football used to just be about 90 minutes, but now it's entertainment, therapy, and it's like a soap opera. What's a story from behind the scenes that you think would genuinely surprise people?
I mean, look, going back to your original question, football's changed so much in that when I was growing up, it was just about the 90 minutes. Now it's not. It's like 90 minutes is part of the conversation. You've got the whole conversation leading up to the game. And then when the game finishes, the whole conversation afterwards. When I was driving down here today, all I could hear is United fans all screaming about their game last night, which was a really poor performance by them. So it's so changed. But what would surprise people? I don't know. I think when people come and they see our operation, they're shocked. That they, how many people sort of work behind the scenes, how we produce videos, or how we get them out, and the whole workings and dynamics of it. The fact that there's a team that does design work. There's a team that's doing social media. There's a team that's doing all the presenting, and a production team. There's quite a lot of things have to come together to produce all the videos. We produce a lot of videos, so a lot of things have to come together for that to happen. So I'd say that's constantly a big surprise to a lot of people. I don't know why, because it's like we're in the studio here. I know it was, to make if you're going to make a music, it's not just a simple process. It involves quite a lot of people to get it from, its inception to it being out there. So
what's next for Robbie?
What's next?
Yeah, what's coming up?
Well, I'll tell you what. So, I've got some big plans in 2026. Well, I'd say content-wise, obviously for AFTV, I'm praying that Arsenal win the league, right? And so we're following Arsenal. But then my other channel, DR Sports, we're following football in general, and we've got a World Cup at the end of the season, and that World Cup's going to be huge because in America, Canada, Mexico, that's going to be probably one of the biggest World Cups ever. So we're preparing for that right now. We're doing a lot of work around that. And then for me, I've got a few projects that are sort of in the pipeline that involve, one of them sort of more of a sort of educational type piece. The other ones, I can't say too much about them because they're exciting projects. People are going to see them, but they are sort of, I feel, projects that are going to really help the next generation of content creators out there. And then there's a lot of stuff that I'm looking to do in other countries as well. There's stuff that I've already been doing in Africa, where we've been going over to Africa and we've been doing watch party events that have gone really successful. We did one in Kenya recently. We've done Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Ghana. Next year, plan to do Uganda, Kenya again, and be doing a lot of stuff within the content of Africa around the creator economy because there's so much talent over there. and helping them to grow like how we've grown. So
exactly,
there's a lot of exciting stuff coming, a lot of work being put into a lot of different and new things. So I'm really excited, especially for next year, 2026, because there's going to be a lot happening.
Sounds exciting.
A lot, yeah. So it's exciting times. I feel that at the moment, this is an exciting time because I feel there's an acceptance of the type of content that we make now, and that, whereas probably 5 years ago and before there wasn't. It was big in our circles, but I feel that like now all the advertisers now recognise how big it was. They never used to. I've still thought that probably 5 years ago they were like, yeah, they got numbers, but there was always a but. And I feel now that advertisers, media companies, investors even, they all recognise now the power and the strength of the creator economy, and they all want to get involved. So I think it's an exciting time for us, but also I think it's an exciting time for anybody out there that wants to create content, whether it be in sport, whether it be in music, whether it just be doing podcasts and stuff. It's an exciting time because we're seeing a media industry that's really changing now, and are realising that, if you want to hit a certain demographic, you have to go where they are, and they're not on traditional TV no more. They're on YouTube, they're on TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, all these different social media platforms, and you got to be there with them. If you even look at something like YouTube. YouTube is like a TV channel now. It's the most watched channel on TV anywhere in the UK or in America. So there's big changes happening right now, and I think it's exciting time. I see people, they get fearful of things like AI and all that. I'm not. I think these are all going to be things that are going to help and enhance the industry.
I agree.
And I think it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time for your ordinary content creator. Yeah,
definitely. And lastly, what does success mean to you?
What does it mean to me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. In anything you do, you want to be successful in it. So, what it means to me is growth. If you're successful, you can grow. If you can grow, you can do more. You can help more people to grow with you. So, and I'm all about that. I'm all about, listen, I want to be I want to be as successful as I can be. I've had a lot of success, but also I want to be able to bring other people along with me, because to me, if we're all successful, then it's even better. It's not just about one person or one company or one. It's about everybody growing together, because then that's when you really can achieve success. You can use that to help your community. You can try and empower people to help themselves, because they'll see what I'm doing, what you're doing, and they'll be like, I can do that, because that guy, he looks like me. He's from the same sort of place where I'm from, and if he can do it, I can do it. And so that's what success brings. It brings all of those sort of things. And can help to uplift, uplift a lot of people. Yeah. And if we can be successful and do that on top of that, there's no better feeling than that.
Agreed. Well, thank you so much, Robbie. This has been an absolute pleasure. You've shared some really inspirational words to not just me, but the audience watching, about running a business in general and your legendary career so far. So yeah, thanks a lot.
No, thanks to you. I think thanks for the photo shoot today. It was very professional. I must say that. You made me feel really at ease.
Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
You realise you've got a talent for that, making people feel really at ease.
I didn't know this.
There you go.
Did someone tell Robbie to say this?
No, listen, no one's told me
embarrassed.
No one's told me to say anything. I'm telling you the truth.
I appreciate that.
For me, I'm coming to do something that I'm not. It's not something I do all the time, so first of all, I'm thinking, what do I bring? What do I this? How is it going to be? And you just made it very chilled, very relaxed. You got a skill.
Oh, amazing.
Not just in taking the pictures and that, but I ain't seen the pictures yet, so I don't know that side. But
We did save them, right? We saved those pictures.
No. Thank you very much for today. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you too, and you were so easy to work with. So yeah,
No,
one
thank
of the
you.
best shoots we've done so far. I think so, team. I think so. Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Thank you. Let's put it there.
Thanks.